Has this ever happened to you? I need some more steel springs, but I don't know what recycles into them. I guess I'll have to check every item in my inventory to see. Or, I'm in the workbench, I'd like to craft this item. It says I don't have the materials for it, but I wish it would let me know if I could get those materials from things in my stash. I often found myself wishing there was a search bar here where you could search for the different things in your stash, whether they're actually there or if you could recycle something into them. I've been working on this for the past week or so, and what this does is it'll scan your inventory, determine the items that are in it, and give you a map to recycle or craft anything that you need, if it's possible. So how does it work? First we'll calibrate, and we'll calibrate the stash. So we follow the instructions here. It says hover in the center of the first slot, and then press the Enter key. Now the last slot in the first row, Enter key, and then the first slot in the last fully visible row. But the point of that is to kind of zero in on where are the slots, where is the stash, so we know what region to look in. How many columns are there? That would be 7. Now what it's doing is measuring different scroll amounts. We want to scroll less than a row each time just to make sure we don't miss anything, but we don't want it to be too slow. So now that the calibration is complete, we can go back to the menu. Now the next step is to scan, and let's scan the stash since we just calibrated it. You see I'm not touching the mouse. Now it's going to go through the whole inventory. Now it's telling us that the scan is complete, so we can press Enter to return to the main menu. The final step is to make a craft plan. What you see here is reconstructed from what the program thinks it saw in your inventory. You can tell that the little wrench is missing there. That's because these aren't coming from the inventory. But you can see that it is an exact match. In all the rows, it correctly determines what's there and the quantity. So the next step is to tell it what you want. So let's say I'm short on metal parts. I'll put in metal parts and hit Enter. And it tells me metal parts has no craft recipe, can't craft it, but it can be recycled from inventory, and then it gives you a whole list of things that you can recycle. I'll make this full screen for now. If I hit expand, you can see you've got a lot of stuff in your inventory that can recycle into metal parts, and it only tells you things that are in your inventory. We can change this to the icon view. Maybe it's a little easier. So you can see these all directly recycle into metal parts. The tooltip tells you how much, and if there's anything else that it recycles into. These don't recycle into metal parts, but they recycle into something else that does. So for example, these motion cores give 2 arc alloy. Each of those recycle into metal parts. Similarly for 3-step and 4-step. And these are the quantity of how many you have in your inventory. Now, let's say I don't want a part, let's say I want to craft something. So let's say I'm crafting the snap hook. Here again is the explanation. This is what we need for the snap hook. 3 rope, 2 power rod, and Exodus modules. We have the rope in inventory, that's good. We don't have the power rod, but we can craft a power rod using arc circuitry and advanced electrical components. But we don't have the arc circuitry. The advanced electrical components we do have, so we're good on that. We already have Exodus modules. So we can recycle these things into arc alloy, and that will allow us to craft the arc circuitry. And with that, we can craft the power rod, and with that, among the things we already have, we can craft the snap hook. Visually, here's the steps. We have recycling steps, this into arc alloy, then we have the arc alloy. Now that we have it, we can do the crafting steps. We make 2 circuitry. Then that and 2 advanced components make a power rod. And then the rope, power rod, and Exodus modules in these quantities will give you the snap hook. And then we're done.